We were just out there musicians. We would even race to a job, because what would happen, you were booked at a certain club. The other band was booked at the same club. We see each other passing on the, we stop at a gas station. Hey man, yo, what's happening? Where you on your way to? Oh, I'm on my way to the Sugar Shack in Boston. Oh, we're on our way. Man, we hurry up and get back in the car. So the first group that got there, hey, we got the job. But that's the way things were. Agents, they made their money. A lot of times, I can tell you, the times that we were hungry, and that's no joke. People look at you and say, oh man, you lived a charmed life. I remember we played a gig. After the gig was over, I must explain that to a lot of people that don't understand. Gigs mean that it's a job. You didn't get your pay right away. The agent got the money first, wherever the agent was at, maybe in New York, and you're all the way in Boston or Canada. They got the money first from the club owner, and then they would send. And then they would send the rest of the money to the band leader. Then you got paid. So in the meantime, while you're waiting for your money, you ain't got hardly nothing to eat. I remember Harry playing for potato chips and popcorn with a big bowl. We're playing cards for it. Whoever get the most. I lost. I couldn't play cards worth a damn. And so, since I lost, I wanted to eat. I put my whole face in a bowl, and they were beating me on the back of the head. But that's all right.
Hey, you ate.
I ate,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And these are things that we did. And you would have to live it. And like I said, people thought, well, we lived a very charmed life. No. Because it got so when you're on the road, you're playing, it's not like today. We had to be uniform. Your cufflinks had to all match, your shirt, your tie, your shoes. If anything was different from the next guy in the band, you got fined for it. And I could never understand. You couldn't understand that fine? They take money from you to, oh, you're fined. You didn't have on the right shoes. Well, I'm a drummer. Who sees my feet anyway? But I got fined. Well, where's the fine money going? To the leader of the band. But we went for the okie doke because, hey, listen, if you wanted to keep working, you wanted to keep your mouth shut,
what you had to do.
And do it.
Yeah.
But this is why I brought that other tape. If you ever want to look at it, you'll see the interview. It's on television. I got it on that CD there. And they tell about how I played with Johnny Cash. And that was funny. We're at the Edison Hotel in Toronto. Johnny comes in the club. I'm sitting up there playing, because what happened is we had two bands. In Canada during that time, either you played country and western or rhythm and blues. That's all they booked. Alright, so I was with one group called Sonny Allen and the Rockets. We did rhythm and blues and dancing. The other one was with Johnny Cash, country and western. He didn't have a drummer. So I never got off the stage. At that time I didn't even drink. They would bring milk up to the stage for me, which I wish I never started drinking. But that's another story. But anyway, Johnny Cash had a thing about himself. He would say, hey boy, bring your snare drum to the front of the stage. I'd take my snare drum, walk up to the front of the stage, take it away from the rest of the set of my drums. He would look at me with his guitar, look at the audience, says, the big black bear walks the mountain, and here I'm up there with the snare drum on, man. Johnny was funny. While we were in the hotel, I got paid double. I forgot to tell you that. I got paid for being with the other group that I was with, and plus Johnny Cash. He came into the hotel after that week. I'm in the bathtub, because in Canada, they didn't have the showers. They had big, huge bathtubs. I'm in there soaking. Hey, Al. Hey, Miles. Come in, man. Walks in, goes in the bath. He sees me in the tub. He bends down, picks me up, buck naked, carries me across the hall in the hotel. I have no clothes on, dripping wet. And he's got a bunch of women in the hotel and throws me in the middle of the bed. Oh, man. But, you know, he was good people, you know. You have to laugh at stuff, but it wasn't funny to me then, man.
No,
you
not
know.
at that time.
No way. You know. But these are things that we went through on you know, while we were in the band. And like I said, there's times that I knew I was awful sick. I mean, I had pneumonia. And if I didn't hit that stage, I didn't eat. And that's sad when you think about it. So that's why a lot of musicians, I'm not kidding, that played instruments, they ended up singing or telling jokes so they could, you know, have the insurance. That's about it. If there are any other questions you want to ask me about?
I guess my favorite story is when the white guy came and took out a gun and put it on the table.
Oh.
Did you tell him that?
Oh, man, that was in Boston. Oh, man, we're sitting there. I guess it happened to a lot of different bands. And I think we were at the Golden Nugget, if I remember the club. And Jimmy Jimison, he's up there in the picture there. He liked to drink good. Him and Little Joe, horn man. We call him Joe Marblow. He was from Grambling College. The man could blow some sax. But they liked drinking heavy. And what happened was to where you could run a tab. But at the end of the week, you know, you had to pay up. Come time to pay up, you guys sitting there, the owner of the club, he's saying, well, you know, Jimmy Jimison and Joe, the horn man, they ran up a big tab. They ain't got nothing to do with us. They said, well, we got to take so much money out of the pay. No, I ain't run no tab up. So here's one guy, he take out his gun, he lay it on the table. The next guy, he take out his gun and lay it on the table. Me, they didn't want to give me a gun because I couldn't see anyway. So I had a little blank pistol. I laid it on the table. And the guy, he's looking, what kind of band do I have here? He got so mixed up, he paid everybody, even paid the guy that ran the tab up. I said, man. And then, what was even funnier, if we had started any mess, this was in Boston now, the Golden Nugget. We done loaded all our equipment and don't know that they had flattened all our tires. So we couldn't have went nowhere,
right.
you know. But this is stuff we
That was a
went
good
through.
bluff, though.
Oh yeah, but we couldn't have went nowhere anywhere we tried.
Y'all could have been some good poker players.
I mean, but this probably happened to a lot of guys, man, you know. I remember one time in down south, we're playing in Augusta, Georgia. And boy, we playing it. But you were from north, up north. And we had Connecticut plates. A lot of people down south didn't know, hey, we say we from New York. We ain't from New York. I'm from New York. But of course the tags didn't say, but we're from New York. Then, now they got bands down there, they were cooking too. And guys, they didn't like it because we playing with their women. Because the women loved us, we're from New York. So they come out in Melvin Minix.
Yeah.
They took and busted his headlights on his car. So okay. Melvin's crying, oh my God. So we come out, don't worry, Melvin. Again, we had Ishman on sax, Big Daddy on saxophone also, and Big Daddy couldn't play.
Couldn't play that.
But we used Big Daddy because he was almost
Because he was
7
big.
feet. I mean, he was huge, like a gorilla.
Yeah,
He could pick a car and hold it up in the air while he
yeah.
changed the tire.
Yeah.
That's how big this dude was, but we wanted him. That was our protection.
Yeah.
So we come on out. Here Ish, he got his gun, loading bullets all up. And here's the other gang that busted the headlights out. We hear the guy say, hey man, did you bring your stuff with you, brought your heat? The I said, no, we bring the heat. I was glad to hear that because what happened, again, they gave me a blank pistol. They
Why
didn't
they
try-
keep giving you?
because I couldn't see.
You can't see. You want to get shot in the back? Get shot in the foot?
And you kept going for
Yeah,
it.
because I was losing my contact lenses. One time, a guy drank my contact lenses. At that time, it was
Oh,
hard
man.
plastic. And so now I really can't see. I done lost my eyes. So they said, here, Al, you stand here like you got a gun. Now, if these boys would have had the real stuff, they would have took me out because I can't even shoot
You
blanks.
don't have nothing.
No. But
Draw fire.
But these are things we went through. And, you know, people just don't know what musicians or being on the road is like. It's like something that you wouldn't even imagine.
Yeah, it was special
And-
back in those,
Right.
those
Well, but
times.
guys, that's how Soupy sails.
Well, what I'm
People
saying,
like that. A lot of people got
oh
started.
yeah. But back in those times, you know, you had no protection. You protected yourself. Or you
Don
didn't have-
Rickles?
and that was it.
Don
What about
Rickles.
the other guy from here, from Bridgeport? He sung his head off. I can't think of his name now. He sounded just like Al Green. We go to the Apollo Theater. No, we ain't supposed to be Apollo
I saw
Theater.
him the other day.
Oh, you know who I'm talking
Yeah,
about
I
then.
know, I saw him.
And this boy can sing.
Yeah.
We won first prize at the Apollo Theater. So we got to come back again. Bring him back again, and he's singing. But then they got this dog.
It was talent night.
Tell
you
about
know,
the
you
dog.
know the amateur hour?
Go ahead.
Yeah, amateur hour at the Apollo. Yeah.
And found this dog. The guy said, watch it. You think all pit bulls, they're stupid or mean. He said, do the James Brown. The dog got fat. And then he said, okay, I want you to beg. The dog said, please, please. And the crowd went crazy. Now my man, he done got out
No,
here.
when he did that Michael Jackson thing.
Oh,
what
the
is
Michael
that,
Jackson.
What is that dance?
Moonwalk.
The moonwalk. He did the moonwalk.
And then-
That's what got him.
Right. Then the dog
He done
got
the
up, the
moonwalk.
pit bull, and looked at the crowd, and did the moonwalk.
That's the truth.
Now here's
True
my
story.
buddy from Bridgeport. He sounded like Al Green, and the
Yes.
good-looking guy.
Yep.
What was his
I
name?
can't think of his name. I can't think of it. I saw him at the Bobby's
And
funeral.
he still sings.
Yeah.
And man, he lost to a dog. Now how could you come all the way back to Bridgeport, and it's on television,
Yeah.
and you done lost your first place to a dog that did the moonwalk?
That's the truth. That's the true story.
I forgot you know about
I
that
can't
too.
think. Yeah, no, I was watching it. Yeah. Yeah.
And then Johnny Niles, the same thing. Here we go back to Apollo again. Johnny, you know Johnny could play organ.
Oh yeah.
He could play organ so well, they had put lights on the bottom so you could see him dancing on the pedals.
What people
on the
used to
bottom.
like to see, because he had a hell of a foot. Excuse
Oh,
my language.
man.
But his, I used to be amazed, and I played with
It
him.
sounded like a bass line. He could do a
I
bass
used to
line.
play with him day in and day out, and I used to sit back and watch him like it was my first time, just to see him play.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing. He could
yeah,
dance on it.
amazing.
He could dance. He could hit it sharp. He could just.
And-
Oh man, it was something.
And the thing about it, we go back to Apollo again. Now, we making believe we're amateurs. But damn, we're cooking. Now here we get first place all over again. Different band. Come back. James Brown's on the show. So Johnny had this little squeeze box. It ain't a big B3. And Johnny's used to play that B3.
It probably was a
But that B-
C3. I imagine.
No, it was smaller
It was smaller than that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, he did.
And so Johnny wanted to jump on James Brown's big B3.
Mm.
James let him play the first time. Now we're coming out again the second time. James looked at him. John cried. John said, John called him all kind of MF. You know, you can't do that to the Godfather of Soul. Johnny said, that mother, that's a no, Johnny. He got up there and plays that squeeze box.
Yeah.
We didn't even get last place.
Yeah, man.
But we had some fun, I'm not kidding. And,
What?
and being with James Brown, that was another thing. I was lumped to him. we had a thing when you're on the road, if somebody got sick, you could borrow another musician to finish the gig out if you got, played. James at the time used 3 drummers. One drummer he would kill, forget it, because he was that man was something else. Dance, and one drummer couldn't keep up with him. So one would catch his falls, the other one would keep the ride hat going, and the other one would all over, Man, we got so, I'm looking and here comes James Brown, Otis Redding's on the show, on the bill. Now, I was famous, like I told you once before, how I twirled my drumsticks and stuff. And Otis wanted a drummer like that because his band was out of sight. You know how Otis band, Otis fall down, his horns fall down, whatever that. So he wanted a show drummer. And I wanted to go with Otis so bad, but I was loaned to James Brown for just that 1 week. Which I should say I'm glad I didn't go with him because and playing.
Look out! Pull up! Pull up! Pull up!
During that week.
During that same week.
Yeah. That's
And
when
that
the club
plane
went down.
In the bay, dock of the bay.
Yeah.
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 I was in 7th grade, guys.
You were in the 7th grade?
I was a youngster. I'm a youngster.
Yeah, I remember when that happened. Though.
But it's so many musicians that are gone today, man, that I can think of that we played with. But like I'm saying, you still needed the band, and it's a shame why they don't have a thing to where the band members, the musicians, got credit for making the stars.